Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you're tuning in from around the globe. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Welcome to the $1 Trillion Tickers broadcast. I'm your host, Matt Riches. This is your weekend charting session for Saturday, March 14th, 2026. With the markets closed today, this is a perfect opportunity to zoom out, analyze the charts, and look for broader trends developing across the major indices and the $1 Trillion tickers. Weekend charting sessions allow us to study price action without the noise of intraday volatility and identify key levels that could shape next week's trading sessions. So the question for today's traders is simple. What are the charts telling us about momentum, trend direction, and potential setups heading into next week? I track the headlines, the data, and the market levels so you don't have to. This show is for education and entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research, but you can use this show as a foundation. Let's get into the mantra. I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be happy. I deserve the wealth that I'm building for me and my family. Riches and freedom, they come to our hands. I am the master of all I command. My learning is limitless. My earnings are too. The more I discover, the more I can do. The stock market is a machine of design, and I have the power to make that wealth mine. I am capable, I am skilled, I am bold. Blessings on the journey as the vision unfolds. All right, let's get into Robert Greene's Daily Law. Immerse yourself in the details. Uncover the secret to any reality by uncovering the details. Leonardo da Vinci achieved extraordinary realism in his work by obsessively studying the smallest details of light, shadow, and human expression. His attention to minute variations allowed him to capture reality in a way that felt deeply alive to viewers. By immersing ourselves in the details of any subject, we move beyond superficial understanding and begin to grasp the deeper structure of reality. For long-term investors, studying the details of companies and industries can reveal insight that broader headlines often miss. Understanding balance sheets, competitive advantages, leadership decisions, and long-term industry trends provide a deeper perspective on a company's true potential. Investors who focus on these details are better equipped to identify durable businesses capable of long-term growth. Over time, this deep understanding can lead to stronger conviction about market volatility, just as Leonardo studied the subtle details of light and form. Investors who study the finer details of companies gain a clearer picture of the bigger opportunity. For traders, details often appear in the form of price action, volume patterns, and technical levels. Small signals such as support and resistance reactions, trendline breaks, or shifts in momentum can provide valuable information about market direction. Traders who train themselves to notice these details often recognize setups earlier than others. Over time, this level of observation sharpens decision making and improves consistency. The market constantly communicates through price action, but only traders who pay attention to the details can truly interpret their message. All right. Let's get into the charts. This is $1 Trillion Tickers, and I'm your host, Matt Riches. All right, so let's check out SPY first. This is SPY. Okay, the S&P 500. As you can see, so right now I have already charted this. But let's just look at it, blank chart. This is what we got on SPY. As you can see, we hit an all-time high here at 697.84. the week of January 26, 2026. And it's been falling ever since. A pretty steady decline until the past couple weeks when it's really sold off hard. Like this week it was down 1.5%. Last week it was down 1.9%. But before that, just down 0.5%. It's actually up 1%. Week before that, down 1.25%. Okay. So as you can see, we do have this price right here, 650.67. That's going to be a very important level. All right, because this was the November bottom that it bounced off of. So this is definitely going to be support here at 650. Okay, let's go on a daily and see what we got. Oh, what I was going to show on the weekly. So this is a Lux Algo Smart Money Concepts. So this shows support and resistance. If it's blue, that means support. If it's red, that means resistance. Not too much red here on the weekly, but let's go to the daily and see. See, we got this red on the daily here. So we got this resistance right here. Once price gets back up to between 690 and 693, expect another sell-off. But that's far away from price right now. And as you can see, the Lux Algo has this buy area. The bottom of the buy area is going to be these November lows right here. So it actually it came on Monday the 9th. It came into this buy area, but this buy area is pretty large. So in order for price to get to the bottom of this buy area from here, it still has, well, not even 2%. Not even 2% to the downside before it hits that bottom. So potentially, we still can drop another 1.74% before we get to the bottom of the support. Now, if it breaks that support, I'm really expecting it to bounce because it hasn't been back to this price since November. So I do suspect that there's still a lot of buyers down there. In case that it does break that support, I do expect it to come down here to 640, but not in 1 week. We're currently at 662. So if it's a terrible week, if it just say it's a down week like this past week, and it goes down 1.74%, that's going to put us at the bottom of this. But we are definitely short-term bearish right now because we did break this previous lower low. So as far as market structure, higher highs and higher lows, we are bearish because we did break that. Let me go ahead and draw this gap on here. We did break that lower low from Monday, so we are still bearish. As far as support levels to the downside, I do have a weekly level here at 659, followed by 653, and then these November lows at 650.85. And then to the upside, we're gonna have the high of the day on Friday, which was 672.25, which is in the middle of this gap. Before we get there, though, we do have 669.20, our weekly resistance, followed by 671.40, and then the high of Friday and the gap fill. All right, if it does break that, as you can see, it did break our diagonal daily support trend line here. So it broke it on Monday and bounced up, came back, broke it, came back up and rejected off the trend line. So our trend line is also going to be some resistance as well. Okay, so that's what I got on SPY, y'all. Let me write good morning in the chat. Give me a second. Give me a second, good people. And let me write peace, blessings, financial freedom. So normally I just do a SPY QQQ and yeah, this thing will continue to go back to the other one. Normally I just do SPY QQQ and the $1 trillion tickers, but if you guys want to have any charts that you want me to chart, let me know. Put that in the chat or put it in the comments. Put it in the chat since we live. You can put it in the comments if you watch this later. Okay, so I gave you, let's check out the technicals. On the daily, we got a strong sell on the moving averages, sell on the summary, sell on the oscillators. On the weekly, we got a sell on the moving averages, sell on the summary, sell on the oscillators. Seasonality. March. From 2021 to 2025, we have 4 green marches, 1 red march. We are red so far. And then next month, we had 3 out of 5 red Aprils and 2 green Aprils. So that's the season we're in, y'all. All right. Next, let's check out QQQ. All right, so QQQ on the weekly. See what we got. QQQ actually looks stronger than SPY because SPY was way down here. It had already broke underneath this support trend line and then it came up and rejected it. So QQQ is actually right at the support trend line. So it's actually in a stronger position as far as being less bearish. So that's what I see on the weekly on QQQ. But it did top out here January 26th, and it's just been in a decline ever since. But it's been pretty much consolidating since February 9th, just in this area here. As you can see, not too much. It's just staying in the zone from 592 to 617, which is like almost a $30 range. So not too much movement with the Qs, just a lot of consolidation. Okay, let's go on the daily. Okay, on the daily, you can see the resistance up here from hitting these all-time highs. You can see the support that we have down here. It's not until 568. So we do got a ways to go before we get to the Lux Algo Smart Money Concept support. But as far as so here's a closer look at where we are on the daily support. So we did break. We did close underneath, so keep that in mind. We're definitely bearish. Let me draw this right quick. Draw this gap on here. It gapped down. Okay, so as far as market structure, this is the lower low. So expect it to bounce right here at this 591.32. If it does not bounce there, and it breaks it, then this will be a new lower low and we will be more bearish. But currently it hasn't broken the most recent lower low, so we're not as bearish as we were compared to SPY, because SPY just broke the previous lower low. And then as far as a recent high, got to get over to 613. 613.30. So yeah, so it's looking bearish. It's looking short-term bearish right now. As far as levels, I do got this. So we're gonna have last week's low, which is 591.33, which is the lower low. And we have this weekly level here at 589.50. And we got this daily level at 585.70. Let's see. Let's check back on the weekly. So we're down 1% this past week. Down 1.25% the week before that. Down just 0.25% the week before that. And we were up 1% the week before that. Okay. So if we do end up breaking that, these are the November lows. So when it comes to QQQ, the November lows, we have 581.09, y'all. So that's definitely something we have to take note of. And yes, it's been drawn on here by the Lux Algo and Smart Money Concepts right here. 580.77. Okay, this is a strong low, as you can see right here, because once it came down here, it bounced up very strong. So it does got a ways to go before it gets down there. Let's see how far we have from today till we get to this. It got to drop another almost 2.25% before we get down to these November lows. So we still got some room, and it's not necessarily gonna do that in 1 week. But yeah, that's what I see here on the Qs. All right, so as far as support, those are our levels. We have the low of the week, 591.43, followed by 589.50, 585.75, and this 580.74, y'all. And then to the upside, we have our weekly level here at 603.20, followed by the gap and our diagonal resistance trend line here. And if we could break all that, I don't see us breaking that in 1 week. And we got 611 right here. Before we get to 611, I got this 609.24. All right. So that's what we got on QQQ. Check out the technicals. Strong sell on the moving averages, sell on the summaries, sell on the oscillators. On the weekly, we got a sell on the moving averages, neutral on the summary, neutral on the oscillators. As far as seasonality, March from 2021 to 2025, we have 4 green Marches, 1 red March. We are currently red. And then in April, we had 3 green Aprils, 2 red Aprils. All right, so that's what we got on QQQ. All right, let's check out Nvidia. All right, let's go on the weekly first. See what we see. Yeah, we see a lot of consolidation still. So this past week, it was up a little over 1.25%. Prior week, it was up 0.36%. Week before that, tremendous. This was the earnings rejection. Came down over 6.5%. But it's very close to support right now. So I do have, so the current price is 180.25. Let's see, what do we see for the weekly? Okay, as far as the daily, as far as higher highs and higher lows, It's the previous lower low. So this is a higher low. So as long as it doesn't break this, then it won't be a new lower low. So we got some ways, we got a little ways to go before we get down there. As far as the higher highs and higher lows, it's gonna have to break this 187.64. If it does continue to the downside, I got 177.20 as support, followed by 175, and then our daily support level, our daily support trend line, which last time it came down here, it bounced from 171 to 193. So we still got a lot of buyers down here, and our smart money concepts is showing this as confluence based on these buyers that bought it up when it came here in December and when it came here in February. So if it does end up breaking that, we do got a lot of buyers in this area, y'all. All right. As far as resistance, we have 182.80, our weekly level, followed by the high of Friday, 186. And we got our daily level here, 186.50, followed by our 187.63 and 189.80. Let's see. Let's check out the technicals. On the day, we had a strong sell on the moving averages, sell on the summary, neutral on the oscillators. On the weekly, we got a buy on the moving averages, buy on the summary, neutral on the oscillators. Seasonals, March, we got 3 green marches, 2 red marches in the past 5 years. We're currently a little bit green. And as far as April, we had 3 red Aprils, 2 green Aprils. All right. As far as forecast, based on 69 analysts over the past 3 months, strong buy is the average. Out of 57 analysts giving a 1-year price target, the average price target is 267, which is 48% to the upside. The lowest price target is 22% to the downside, y'all. All right. Next, let's check out Apple. Check out the weekly first. Oh man, looks like Apple broke this daily support trend line, folks. Not good. It's not looking good. All right, a strong break too. Yeah, Apple is down heavy this week. It was down almost 3% this week. It was down 2.5% last week. It was barely under break even the week before that, but Apple been selling off, man. But you know, February and March are normally down months, especially February. So, you know, typical seasonality. But let's see what we got. Okay, as far as higher highs and higher lows, the most recent low we have here is at 243.73, so that's definitely going to be an important support level. Let's see if we can hold that. Okay, so let's go to the daily. So as far as higher highs and higher lows, we did break this low from Monday. So this is a new lower low, y'all. There's a new lower low on the daily. So we're going to be looking at this 243.22, 243.42, I mean. See if we can get a bounce on here, because last time it came down here, it ended up running up to 281. So it's definitely a lot of buyers in here. We'll see. We're almost there. But yeah, I'm definitely short-term bearish on Apple. So I got a level here at 248, a weekly level. We got our Lux Algo support. If it does end up breaking that, then I got us going to 239.80. If we break that, oh, we coming down, folks. We coming down. If it ends up breaking this, so we got 2.61%. If it ends up breaking that, I got us going to minus 4% from there to minus 7%. Ooh, yeah, Apple looking very short-term bearish. As you can see, from this high, lower, lower, lower. So the next one, it's got to break this. As far as upside, we got to break Friday's high, which is very close to our 255.80. Then we got to break this previous lower high, which is 260.60, followed by this 266.20. And then we have our Lux Algo resistance, followed by our 274.20, y'all. So that's what we got on Apple. Looking bearish. On the daily, we got a strong sell. Moving averages, sell on the summary, neutral on the oscillators. On the weekly, we got a sell on moving averages, sell on the summary, sell on the oscillators. As far as seasonality, in March, we got 3 green marches, 2 red marches. This month is very red already, minus 5%. And then in April, we got 3 red Aprils, 2 green Aprils. You know what I didn't do? I didn't put on the algo. Let's see what the algo says. Okay, so the algo says, the algo gave us a sell here back on the 5th. So it looks like it hit, almost hit TP2. Let's see if there's a more recent signal here. That was like 9 days ago. They had a sell here in the pre-market on Thursday. And they did end up hitting TP1. Okay, so Apple's still in that sell, y'all. Let me run these on these other tickers. So on a daily on Nvidia, we had a sell, and then we had a close signal here, but this was back in February. So let's see if we have a more recent signal. Okay, we had a buy here in the pre-market on Tuesday. And it just consolidated and then reversed. So it did not work on Nvidia. Nope. Alright, let's check out QQQ. QQQ, most recent signal was back here, February 3rd. We did have a close signal here. See if we have a more recent signal on a 4-hour. We had a sell. Oh, this was after market close on Thursday. We had a sell signal. And then felt a lot of pressure in the pre-market, but it sold off and ended up hitting TP2. All right, so that's what we got on the Qs. SPY, let's check out the daily. SPY. We had a sell way back here in early February. Got a close signal here. See if we have anything more recent. We did have a sell signal here, 9 a.m. on Thursday. Entry 666.05. It did feel some pressure in the pre-market, but ended up you'll be up $3 right now. Very close to TP1. All right, so that's what we got. All right, Google. Let's check out Google. Google on the weekly. Google had a good week, up 1.26%. All right, but it did break our trend line here. It broke, and it came right back to the trend. Let's see where it is on the daily. Okay, so on Monday, we did break these February 17th low. So this created a new lower low. And this was the previous high. So this is a lower high. So as far as lower lows and lower highs, it needs to stay above this 293.90, which was our daily level here. And then it needs to break above this previous high of 311.49. Looks like we got a potential bull flag. Potentially. And we're also just closed below our diagonal support trend line here. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, as far as support, we got low of the day on Friday, 353 cents, followed by 300, usually psychological level, and then 296.70, followed by this lower low, 294.08. To the upside, we got the high of Friday. Well, before that, we got 305.70. And we got the high of Friday, 307.75. And then the most recent high here, 311.76. Who breaks that? We got 315, followed by this previous high here, 319.47. All right, so we still looking bearish, y'all. Still looking bearish. All right. Check out the algo. Do you have any recent signals? No, this was back in early February. Let's see. You had a buy signal here on Monday the 9th. It almost hit TP1, but ended up selling off. You'd be down $4.83 if you got into this buy signal here. Stop loss would be $299.71. But yeah, it's looking bearish on Google. Technicals. Strong sell on the moving averages, sell on the summary, neutral on the oscillators. On the weekly, we got a buy on the moving averages, buy on the summary, neutral on the oscillators. Seasonals. From 2021 to 2025, we have 4 green marches, 1 red march. This month is very red so far. far as April, we have 4 green Aprils, 1 red April. Forecast out of 74 analysts over the past 3 months, strong buy is the average. Out of 63 analysts with a 1-year price forecast, the average is 25% to the upside, with the lowest being 9% to the downside. Looks very strong. All right, let's see how long we've been on. 35 minutes. All right, let's check out Microsoft on the weekly. Microsoft had a down week, very bad week, minus 3.28%. It was up 4% last week. And the week before that, minus 1%, minus 1%. Okay. So we had an inside candle on the weekly here. So we definitely got some definitely going to be having some resistance here at the top of the 412.84, and we'll have some support here at 390.59. Okay. Let's see. On the daily, it's 4 days in a row, Microsoft been falling, y'all. Alright, as far as lower lows and lower highs, this is the previous lower low here on February 24th at 381.71. Most recent high was 413.08. So it does look like it's going to come down. Got some, I like this 390 for support. If it ends up breaking that, then we're coming back down to this 382. If it breaks that 382, we do have our gap right here, and we have our diagonal daily support trend line. And then underneath that, we have our weekly level here, 359.80, and we have our Smart Money Concepts support level here, support zone. Then as far as to the upside, we have our weekly level here. Oops, we got a weekly level here at 401.70, followed by the high of Friday, which is 404.81, and then our previous high here at 412.76. Yeah, it's looking very bearish, y'all. Looking very bearish. All right. Let's check out the algo. Okay, we had a buy here on Thursday. Got faked out and stopped out. So, it did close underneath. So if you were following the rules of the algo, you would have got out at 402 for an $8 loss. But if you stayed in, you'd be at $15 loss. So that shows how you should take your losses and don't hold them. Which is easier said than done, for sure. See, on a 4 hour, we did have a strong sell here in the pre-market. Entry is 395.50. Target is 386.20. Stop loss of 404.80, y'all. All right, so that's what we got. We'll get to the rest of the $1 trillion tickers tomorrow. So, to recap, Oh, actually, before we do that, check out the technicals. On the daily, we got a strong sell on moving averages, sell on the summary, neutral on the oscillators. On the weekly, we got a strong sell on the moving averages, sell on the summary, buy on the oscillators. Seasonality. In March, we got 4 out of 5 green, 1 red. In April, we got 3 green, 1 red. Forecast out of 60 analysts over the past 3 months, strong buy is the average. Out of 49 analysts given a 1-year price target, the average price target is 50% to the upside, with the lowest being less than 1% to the downside. So that's a very strong forecast for Microsoft. All right. So to wrap, we went over SPY, QQQ, Nvidia, Apple, Google, and Microsoft. And we will do the rest of the $2 tickers tomorrow. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. This is $1 Tickers. I'm your host, Matt Riches. Y'all have a blessed day.